Oh, God bless forum posters to tell you how to do shit. So, it's been a while since I've gotten on this thing. A lot of people have gotten um, a lot of stuff done. I kind of want to talk about why I started doing this. I think I started doing this because I had two individuals in my life that I really care about. Both are very bright and very nice young men, and they were struggling through some shit. And you always need that pep talk, you know what I mean? And I'm almost kind of regretting the fact that I stopped making these videos because sometimes you stray away from your own mission, from your own words, from your own thing. You got to eat humble pie. I mean, I rewatch my videos because it's like, this is my mindset. This is my mindset at my healthiest. So when you're in like a dark point, or when you're in a point where it's just like, I'm in a haze, I'm in the thick of it. I wouldn't say that you're in the rat's nest per se, but you're kind of, getting that kind of that stench entering your life again, that seasonal depression, whatever is the cause and whatever you want to call it. And that's kind of what I was going through recently. I think it's just the stress of schoolwork and keeping up with studying and tests that are coming up. And I think I want to title this video, because I'm freehanding it, no PowerPoint, about not nerfing yourself. Now, I've met a lot of people in my life that are very, very bright people, amazing people in their industry, amazing people in their specialization, and even if they're not specialized, even if they're just a starter build, they just graduated high school, they're just kind of like, just starting out, a default build, whatever you want to call it, they're still very good, kind-hearted people. They're still well-rounded people. Their potential is insane. Like, I feel like I'm Vegeta with a scanner, and I'm just like 9,000, and it's like he doesn't even know. You know what I mean? The potential's insane. The opportunity out there that they could take advantage of is insane, but they just kind of nerf themselves. They get in their own way, and it's strange because it's like they're experts in what they do. Like, they know what to do. They're just psyched out of doing that. And I'm at this impasse point where I'm now realizing, oh, this is how they kind of felt. I felt this way before, but this is how they felt to a greater magnitude. Let me give you a specific example. Right now, like how it relates to me is I'm studying for my CompTIA Core 2 test. So there's the Core 1 and the Core 2, and then you have to take you take them both, and then you get your A+ certification. Now, I've been messing with computers for a long time. I've been talking to people about IT ever since I was a kid. Even if I wasn't thinking about IT, I was doing that. And I have some future videos about, like, my accidental brush-ins with IT. And even if I didn't do that throughout my life, I've had to learn how to fix shit, because if you didn't fix shit when you're growing up poor, or you're growing up where a sink costing $500 is a big problem for your parents, you kind of pick up a few skills, you kind of pick up a few trades, you kind of learn how to fix your own problems and learn how to fix the problems with others. Collaboration. You got to know how to hold the light straight, because if you're not doing that, then it's going to be a problem. You got to know how to communicate, how to deal with hard situations. Other people definitely have it worse, but that's just the background that I had. And specifically with IT, I've been doing it for fun for a while. And even when I wasn't specializing it for a career, I was doing it for a job or anything like that, I was building PCs, drunk with a friend of mine in college while I was still trying to do the aviation stuff. I was, coming over to friends' houses and building PCs. A friend of mine asked me, over the course of your lifetime, how many PCs do you think you have built before? And I'd say about, with friends and alone, maybe 6. Besides work or anything like that, I'm probably 6, right? And for the average person, that's a lot, because most people don't start with any. And I'm not trying to grandstand myself in the sense that like I know a lot about a lot. This is a motherboard from a laptop that I had a while back, and what I really like about this motherboard is the fact that the charging cable, shout out Samsung, the charging cable was modular. It wasn't soldered onto the board. However, my dad had one that was soldered onto the board, and if you trip over the cable and the charging port breaks its solder connections, or the board is messed up or something like that, and you got to try and resolder it, that is a problem. And I tried resoldering it, and of course it didn't work. I was way in over my head. There's people that do it every day that specialize in it, and they're geniuses, and they make a lot of money on eBay providing that kind of service. But what I like about this motherboard in particular, I was actually like parting out, and I was just kind of thinking about the time that I had with this. It's like I learned somewhat of the basics of hardware and design when I was messing with this. Even though I didn't understand every single thing about it, I just kind of dived in. I just said, you know what? I have this background. I see this challenge. I'm going to push towards it. However, when it comes to something like an institutionalized test, there's something in me that kind of grumbles, that hesitates. That's like, no, 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 I'll schedule it a week later. No, 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 I'll schedule it a month later. You know, that kind of stuff. And it's like, you know, everybody that I talk to about it, they're like, oh, dude, you've been doing this for years. Like, this test should be no problem to me. Oh, you've trained me on how to do this, this, and this, and I got the test, so why wouldn't you be able to pass it? And it's just like this feeling, this nervousness. You know, me getting in my own way is illogical, and I can't justify it logically, right? So the question is like, how do you get it? How do you get around it? How do you get over it? When you're on the outside, it seems ridiculous, right? And here I am on the inside, recognizing how ridiculous it is because I was a hypocrite before. In the past, I've seen people, and throughout life, I've seen people be on the outside of that. Just amazing people, just fantastic people, just dedicated people that can go and kill the challenge, kill the dragon that they're describing, and they're getting in their own way. And what really troubles me is the fact that, you know, it's like if you just pushed yourself, if you just went through it, you said, you know what, I may not know everything, I might not be fully ready, because I don't think you could ever be fully ready for a test if it's not like a drug test or something. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't think you'll ever feel fully ready. And if you don't feel fully ready, something in you is going to say you're not fully ready, right? So I'll give you an example here. When I was in mechanic school, there was a group of, so it was kind of split in the sense that you could take afternoon classes and morning classes, or both, right? If you took both, the program was a year long. If you took one or the other, the program was 2 years long, right? So between everybody that was doing both and everybody that was doing one or the other, they all kind of took the tests around the same time, right? So let me put it this way: every single time, you know, if you're in the 2 year program, you're always seeing somebody in the 1 year program going and taking the FAA A&P mechanics test, right? So between all of us, regardless of what their schedule there was around 30 people that went, took all of the courses, spent all of the money. Some of those people, they weren't locals. Some of those people, so they had to, you know, get a rental arrangement for the entire time they were taking tenure. Some of those people during COVID had to adjust to an online format of education. So, you know, good on them for adapting, because it's very difficult for people who have never experienced that sort of self-taught or proctored lectured system. Some of those people, they were there a year before me. Some of them, they were there for 3 years because, you know, life got in the way and they had to drop a course and they had to add a course and they had to patchwork it in. Regardless, I was in a timeline where me in the 1 year course, right, doing all of it full time, was going, you know, I was scheduled to take the FAA exam at the same time, around the same time in the fall of the next year, right? Because it was a fall, spring, fall scenario, right? A full calendar year. So in that fall, I was scheduled to take the test, and so were the 2 year guys, right? So effectively, if not all 30, maybe around 23 people were ready to take this test. So you got to think, there's a huge investment into it, a huge investment of time, a huge investment of labor, a huge investment of studiousness, a huge investment in a whole lot of stuff. These guys are putting the nose to the grindstone, learning how to fix planes, studying all the legal legislation and advisory circulars, having part numbers memorized in their heads. These guys are really ready to go and kill it. Now, what was shocking to me is I had dinner with this older chap who, this guy deserves his own video, honestly, because he kind of there's a lot of people in my life that have shifted my mindset, and this guy was a huge pivot. It was amazing, right? But he needs his own video. So I was having dinner with this guy. We're gonna call him the pilot because that's what he was, and he owned a plane. And he wanted the mechanics license so he can fix his own planes and work on his own stuff, logically speaking, right? He took the test, and he and I had dinner. So he and I took the test. He and I are licensed, right? He and I had dinner just a couple months ago. And during the dinner, he was like, yeah, so did you know how many people went and, graduated class and went and actually took the 3 exams with the FAA to get their license? And I'm like, no, I actually didn't. I only knew one person. I actually knew only 2 people that did, right? There was me, there was the pilot, there was this guy, I'm going to nickname him, I hate to nickname him based on like his ethnicity or anything like that, but he was a really cool guy, fantastic individual. Let's call him, I don't want to call him his initials either because it's like something you'd read out of like bathroom graffiti. Let's call him Danny, right? So, it was Danny, and this guy, he again needs his own video. Amazing mindset, amazing story. So it was him, Danny, and one of this guy I knew, his name was Isaac, right? So me, the pilot, Danny, Isaac, that makes 4, right? And then there was one individual named David who wasn't really close with us, but he was very mission focused, and he wasn't very socially cohesive, but so I wasn't really close with him, and honestly I was an asshole back then too, and in many ways I still am, and I'm trying to work on it. So we weren't really that close, so all I really knew about him was that he passed the test, because the day that he passed the test he said, see ya guys, right? like middle of class, he just packs up his tools and he's like, see ya. And then he had a job with one of the specialized maintenance depots literally down the tarmac, like just he left his car parked on that side of the airport and wheeled his toolbox all the way to his next place of employment, which I really respect. So it was only 5 people. The point of the story is that of the 30 people that spent years, if not a year, studying, grinding, spending a whole lot of money, in terms of rent, in terms of schooling, not to mention opportunity cost. I mean, these guys could have been going and doing something else. Same here. I could have been, going and doing IT or something like that. I would have already had my degree by then. You know what I mean? Or my associates at least by that time. And all those people made the sacrifices, but only 5 of those people got out of their own way to go and take the test. I don't think a single person took the test and failed. Not to say that it was easy, but to say that these people was trained so well by the faculty, staff, and curriculum down at that school that it was just a shoo-in. It really was. And it's probably one of the hardest exams that I've ever taken in my life, and I'll probably ever take in my life. Just wow. I mean, there was a written portion, there was an oral portion, and there was a practical portion where you had to live demo certain repairs and techniques. And that can really intimidate you. But you can give any reason under the sun as to why you don't feel ready, as to why you wouldn't go do it, as to anything like that. And I wasn't really the kind of guy that really like I hate to sound self-aggrandizing, but it's like back then I really didn't give a shit about other people as much as I do now. That's for sure. Like I said, I was a bigger asshole back then than I am now, and work in progress. We all are. But there was a lot of guys that I was talking to that I stayed connected with, that they were like, oh yeah, I'm planning on, taking that exam. They were showing me signs of nervousness, and honestly, I should have felt obligated to encourage them, to say, you know what, dude, come on, like, I did it, you can do it. You're smarter than me, you study more than me, you were the guy that were leading the study groups, you were the guy that was leading the mission. I should have. I regret it. I should have been there for them, to go and push them to go and at least take their exam. And the thing is, you're not really pushing them into a career field to go and take the exam. Uh, the nature of this license is that it's one of the best fallback plans uh, you can imagine. It's a license that doesn't expire. So, if you say, I don't want to do this mechanic shit, and then you go and do like IT or whatever, which is the pathway that I'm taking. Um, in a normal economic scenario, in a non-COVID economic scenario, recruiters are going to blow up your phone all the time, regardless of how much experience you have. And the best part is that the second you go work for them, dude, your phone is going to be nonstop ringing. We need you, 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 we need you. I've met um, on complete accident that I one of the most influential mindset shifters and one of the coolest guys I've ever met, this guy Diego down in San Antonio. Shout out Diego. Um, on accident in the comment section, because I was just posting and talking shit about the FAA, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm a mechanic too," or something like that. And then we just became friends. It's fantastic, right? That guy, I mean, now he's got a wife, now he's got a kid going. He's really setting up life well. He's supporting his family. That guy's honestly, he's a hero, not just to his family, but to me, in terms of a role model. He's a fantastic person. And the best part about Diego is he got out of his own way. He got out of his own way. We can justify anything we want. We can say, oh, dude, I'm too stupid for that. Oh, dude, I'm too this for that. Ah, dude, I'm too ugly to ask her out. Dude, I'm too this, I'm too that. I mean, I think one of the bravest things I've ever seen was, okay, getting real personal here. Um, I was friends with my girlfriend before she became my girlfriend, but who asked who out? Fellas, I'm gonna be dead honest with you. She bagged me. She bagged me. Yeah, I'm serious. She bagged me, and that's what I really respect about it, because she had every reason to think that I didn't like her, or every reason to think that it wouldn't work out with me because of insecurities that she has, or what is he gonna think about that? Am I really his type? Um, he's talking about this girl, he's talking about that girl. Am I even worth it? Whatever. Like, she got out of her own way and said, hey, you know what? This is how I feel. And I was like, whoa. I'm like, I really respect that. Think about this for a second, fellas. Like, really sit back, right? If a girl asks you out, you're at the mall, and she walks up to you like, hey, I think you're cute. Damn. Like, a guy does that? That's round of applause for the gentleman. The gentleman's going, yeah, hell yeah, let's go, bro. Woo woo, right? A girl doing that, bro. She's got more shit to get in her way than most guys ever will. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I'm too short, this and that. That's getting in my way. Dude, girls got to go through a lot of shit. Every single ad, maybe it's Maybelline with the fucking SpongeBob duck. Maybe she's born with the fucking buck teeth or whatever, right? Like all of these ads making people insecure, making girls insecure. Like, dude, they got a lot of shit to get over, and that's probably why they don't ask guys out as much, or stranger danger, shit like that. Yeah, there's a lot, like, that's why it's like, wow, I really respect that. And now if I had to like put a Hall of Fame list of like people getting out of their own way and getting it done, fucking them, fucking my girlfriend. You know what I mean? It's just fantastic. Good for her. Diego, fantastic. Good for him. He went and took the same hard ass exam I did. Those 4 other people, Danny, Pilot Boy, Isaac, got it done. Fantastic people. And the people that didn't do it, the people that got it, that got in their own way, they're fantastic people too, and that adds to the tragedy. That's the problem. You're probably listening to this and you're like, dude, I'm probably not like them, I'm probably not a good person, I'm probably this, I'm probably that, yada yada yada. That's what's weighing you down, and that's what weighs me down. That, like, that mindset of, I don't know if I can really pass this. I don't really know if I know a lot. I mean, he passed it, whatever, whatever. Like, he said, she said. I mean, he didn't pass that, and he's like super smart. I don't want to hear it, bro, because that doesn't have anything to do with you and your mission. And your mission in that instance is twofold: one, get out of your own way, and two, get whatever you're talking about, get it done. I think, and he might watch this video. I think one person I really respect is a coworker of mine doing his own business shit, getting it there's two people that I know that own their own businesses or assist in the family business, and they've been so crucial in doing that. And that sort of self-starter attitude has either, like, what came first, the attitude or the business molding the attitude over time, molding the maturity? It doesn't fucking matter. The point is, that's what's made them really successful within their own niche, really getting it done, really expanding, really, like, just that the attitude shift that they probably had before they started the business, right? Like I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can just really start it, yada yada. And I think what I really respect about this guy is that every single time I talk about, or I talk business with him, he says, dude, get the fuck out of your own way and start one, or something like that. And it kind of makes me mad, not because I'm mad at him, but it's mad because it's like, I know this motherfucker is right. I know this guy is absolutely correct. I do need to get in my own way and, get what I need to get done. Now, the only issue I have with that is that, starting my own business is not within, the mission plan that I have for what I'm dealing with, right? I got my own kind of blueprint going. But what I really respect about him is that he's doing the same shit I'm doing in addition to the business, in addition to, working 40 hours and stuff like that. Like, it's just like, I mean, it's like me plus one or me plus 10. And it's like the mindset is just, it's really admirable, and I'm glad I can call him a friend. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I get in my own way. I'm sure you listening right now get in your own way in many different things, and it's not a good place to be. It puts you in that quagmire. You're just like looking at the dragon, and you're thinking, "There's no way I can kill that dragon," or you're looking at the mountain. Because I use the dragon, mountain, and RPG analogy in my older videos and stuff like that, and I think it still stands here. You're looking at the mountain, you're saying, "There's no way I can climb it. There's absolutely no way I can climb it." When I was in it's a funny story, but when I was taking a family vacation to Ethiopia, my dad said, "Hey, you gotta go. We gotta go and like go to this park." And there's this place called Mountain Toto, right? And what he didn't know, what none of us knew, was the fact that one end of the park to the other end of the park was a straight 3 kilometers through and up the mountain, right? And we only figured it out halfway because there was people walking back or walking to the other side of the park, and we asked them, like, "Hey, how far is the other end?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, about like 2 kilometers." and and my mom, she's like, "What?" She's freaking out, whatever, like, "There's no way we can do that, whatever." And I'm so glad we didn't turn around. I'm so glad, because the sights, the sounds, the crisp mountain air, it felt like the mountain Tandria was born on in Demon Slayer. Ha ha ha, nerd. No, I'm just kidding. But no, it's a very crisp mountain air. I mean, the craziest part is that you're already in highland country in Africa, but you're in the highlands of the highlands. You're right outside of the capital, in the green, in the mountains, just way above the pollution in the valley, and it feels like you're in an evergreen forest without the smell of pine. The air is so thin, and I hear that the reason why Ethiopians are some of the best marathon runners in the world is because of the fact that they train in a low oxygen environment because they're so high above sea level. But specifically in that 3 kilometer trail, they train. They do long marathon runs. They do laps one way to the other way and all the way around, because they're so high up. They're so thin. It's so crisp. Every breath matters. Not like in an Everest sort of way, but you definitely can notice it. You definitely can notice that you're not sprinting down. You know, you're not going as fat or far as you would without running out of breath. If you were to sprint down the thing, that's where they train. It's amazing. I didn't get to see any of the Olympic trainers. I didn't get to see any of the runners that day, but I really wish I did. One thing I did see, however, and I'm getting lost in the weeds here for the metaphor, but if you ever go to an evergreen forest and you see monkeys like climbing around the trees and darting around like squirrels, it's like what like what dimension am I in? You know what I mean? It's amazing. It was really really cool place. I recommend anyone visit that. So the point of the analogy, the point of the metaphor here is my mom would not have enjoyed that hike. My mom would not have enjoyed the sights and the sounds and the smells of the mountain and the um, the monkeys that are darting away. And I believe there was actually a a monastery that's there that used no, I'm sorry, even better than a monastery. There was a there was a church that was only accessible to just a select few of the people that lived around the area, right? When you go to that mountain, when you climb that hike and you're halfway through, or you don't even know like at that point we didn't even know how far we came. So what's the point in turning around? Seriously, you don't know how far you are. I don't know how far in my technical knowledge I'm at. So what the fuck am I gonna do looking at a test like this and saying nope, 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 turning around? There's no, you can't turn around. You cannot turn around. All you can do is stop and just be like, oh, here's the mountain, and then not take the test. Like all these other people who took the same course as me, who were smarter than me, who knew more than me, and refused to take the test because it intimidated them, because they got in their own way. They're not able to enjoy the fruits of all the labor that they put in because they got in their own way. And I really hope you never let yourself get in that sort of mindset. It was actually such a beautiful mountain. Mentally I'm there sometimes, and Germany, very beautiful place. I can't wait to go back. Hopefully the politics settles down over there. But seriously, you know, if my mother listened to herself and we listened to her and we turned around, we wouldn't have fully enjoyed that hike, because where we started was actually somewhat of it's somewhat scenic, but it's not the best side of the mountain. Where we ended was the best. There was food, a whole restaurant. We got some beer. You know, people were feeding the monkeys. You know, the monkeys were eating on the trash and shit. It was like, they call it, that's why they call it Mountain Toto, because Toto means monkeys. Like you have like baboons and shit that like they like live up there and stuff. And it was very scenic. It was very beautiful. It was great. Like you never know what's on the other side of the mountain. You never know where you're gonna get when you climb it. And if you stay in that valley, if you stay in that pit, it's gonna suck. It always sucks. It's stale. It's like drinking, it's like drinking water that's been out for like 10 days and you can just taste the plastic. It's like, fuck that, dude. It's like drinking hot water from your car. You ever been desperate enough to do that? Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. And that's not a mindset, that's not a quagmire that you really want to be, because it's like, because regret can take a foothold a whole lot easier. Let me give you a more personal example here, right? When I took my mechanic exam, that was, I believe, October 2020. And it says it on the license that I keep in my wallet. And I'm glad I keep it in my wallet all the time, because I've actually made friends with them just casually seeing in my wallet. I'm like, oh my god, are you a pilot? And I'm like, no, I'm not that cool, But yeah, I'm glad to keep it in the wallet. But it's like, yeah, it says it on the wallet. It says it on the license. October 2020. We're still in the thick of COVID. It's only been like 7 months since COVID started at that point, because it started in like March, April, right? So it's the thick of it. Nobody's hiring. There was a guy from it was a regional airline out east called Piedmont Airlines, and SkyWest in Missouri, and Boeing. I mean, they were all pulling up. They were all sending recruiters and care packages and stuff like that to come pull up and just, join the rank and file and start a career with them and get pensions and become, union men or whatever. You know what I mean? Like the whole shtick. Get travel benefits. I was in my mind, I'm like, damn, dude, I get to get travel benefits and I get to send my parents everywhere and anywhere, and they don't have to worry about spending money on their vacations. They can finally see their family back home. And COVID happened in March, and there's still just a flicker of hope, and that flicker of hope just died. Because when I got my license, that was when I entered the rat's nest. Truly, truly entered the rat's nest. That is the neatdom. NEET. Truly a neat state. Um, I was just holding out for a recruiter to call or for a email to reply to my thing, and a lot of those recruiters ended up getting fired. A lot of those applications, jsfirm.com, controller, whatever you, not controller, that's where you buy and sell planes, but jsfirm.com, they weren't calling me at all. Indeed, no one had any mechanic positions. It was dead. That's when I had to make the switch to a new field, and I didn't even really commit into that new field until maybe spring of the next year. The next time I had a job, or the next time I got my first job in aviation, was April. So from October to April was just sort of a lost zone. Now I had a job in between that, but that's a whole different story. and what happened with that job is a whole different story. And I met a very interesting person that I just recently reconnected with from that job. So I really do hope to tell that job story. But yeah, no, it sucked. It really sucked. It really sucked spending a whole year of being a full-time student and going through all the trials and tribulations of the FAA exam, getting your license, and nobody's picking up the phone. Nobody wants you. They're not even willing to give you minimum wage. Nobody cared, And dude, now it's not a flex. Trust me, I'm not trying to flex, because somebody who's a starter build right now is gonna be like, dude, I wish I was like that for any job, whatever. That's not the point. The point is this: when you're in that pit, fuck, it was dark, it was bad. You know what I mean? And nowadays, dude, nowadays I'm getting like nowadays, to me, they're spam to me, bro. I get emails, I get calls, STS Aviation, invites to apply from JS Firm. We'd like to sponsor you, yada yada. And it's actually decent money. It's decent money. And if I was what I have previously called an economic cowboy, there's nothing here, holding me down. I could just go and work there. I could just go and work here. I could just go to Missouri and Alaska. In fact, Isaac, I really respect him because he was not with the bullshit, dude. He really wasn't. He actually, honestly, if he ends up watching this video, I really hope he does. He should have broken up with his chick a long time before. But Isaac, when he got his license, he got an application and invite to go and work in an airport in West Virginia, and he just straight up told his girlfriend, like, yo, I'm going to West Virginia. This is the only place that's calling me in the middle of COVID. I'm going to go take this job and start my career. And she was like, if you go, we're breaking up because I'm not going to West Virginia with you. And then broke up. I was like, damn. There's really nothing holding that dude down. I respect it, though, because honestly, she was kind of, bro. No. Yeah, he went to West Virginia. He actually found a girl there, too. And, he got another job in Alaska, and they actually both went together. Or no, he went and then she moved over or something like that. I don't even know. But it's he didn't start for shit. He's like, dude, my mission, stable employment, career. Let's get it done. He did not get in his way whatsoever. I respect the fuck out of him for exactly that. He's like, dude, my mission, get my license, get a job. Nothing else comes before that shit. And I'm like, bet. I'm like, damn. Fuck. It's well, I mean, in reality, what is he gonna do? He's just gonna be unemployed with his girl? It's nah, dude, this is what he was pursuing this whole time. It's I don't know. But he's a winner. Yeah, I'm not really in contact with him these days, but I'm pretty sure he's doing pretty well. I mean, he always wanted to move up to Alaska and really live life, so I think that's where he is right now. But I mean, yeah, there's a lot of people that really could have gotten stuck in the mud. Honestly, bro, I wanted to call it quits. I was just like, man, fuck school, fuck a job, fuck anything. I'm gonna just play Fortnite on my PC all day, all night, scream and shout and rage, you know, and not even record those clips or anything. And it's just like, because I don't know, like when you're in that neat kind of quagmire, it's just it's sick. It's a sort of sickness. It's not good, dude. And every time I see people in that, it's just like you have my utmost sympathy because I was there too. And the last thing you kind of need is somebody looking at you like you're like less than human or something, you know. But yeah, if you get anything out of this message, get out of your own way. In any case, any aspect, anything, get out of your own way. You have a great day. God bless.